Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Come on, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to that lemon light city, sweet home Chicago.
Hi there, I'm Marty Levinson. Welcome to the Northtown News Magazine show with the greatest cameraman in the business today, Sonny Hersh, and your host, Avi Meyers.
Marty Levinson, king of the wild country. Hi, everybody. Avi Meyers here, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Look at what Sonny made. Take a look. Official cups with the logo. We even went to the mikveh and dunked them. So it's okay to drink from. And Sonny Hersh, of course, is entire technical crew, co-producer of the show. Not to mention the chairman of the 24th District Camps Committee. And
too bad Sonny doesn't give haircuts.
Yeah, he'd probably be good at that too. But and the beat guy at 2413. Thank you very much, Sonny. Dial us up on the web, ntnm.org, where 35, 36, 37, who knows how many thousands of you have already watched shows on the web. Thank you so much. And a couple of neighborhood notes. One of the things that we're really excited about that's going to be happening soon. Well, actually, it will happen by the time this is over. So, and hopefully these things will have happened. So I want to give some thank yous. RB, for the first time ever, had something going on National Night Out, and I want to give special thanks to, believe it or not, strange duo here. 3 people I'm going to thank: Mary Beth Brewer, Zara Quadri, okay, and Donna Zemansky. Devon and Claremont, where people have been flashing gang signs and stuff that Mary Beth caught. And Zara's going to take her Zams Hope people and join us over at Devon and Claremont. And thanks to Donna for letting me know about this National Night Out site. And there's actually another activity, which I understand you're going to be attending, with Vernon Albright, who I met for the first time, a very interesting gentleman who's having a string quartet and a garden party over this place for National Night Out. And very interesting character. He lives on Arthur.
I know Vernon. Vernon's an author and a very, very famous man.
Very nice man.
But actually, I'm marching on National Night Out. We're going from Bethesda Lutheran, and at the same time, Joe Moore's coming from St. Margaret Mary, and we're hopeful that the mayor is going to be leading the march from High Ridge Y, and the 3 groups are going to meet at McDonald's on Western.
Very nice. Well, as a matter of fact, Sonny and I are going to be filming, so hopefully that will all have happened and we will be there.
Yeah, for everybody, that's going to happen on August 5th.
Right. Well, it's already going to be, I think, it's probably going to be over by the time this this will be like 2 days after that.
Yeah, well, the 3 groups are going to meet. I hope I can, from there, I hope to go to Vernon's garden party.
And I also want to mention that, one of the really cool things that will have happened already, too, is that the new community organization, and hopefully this will be an honest one and not as creative and revisionist as the existing ones. And by the way, when you can be a creative fascist the way some of these guys are, it's really amazing. But their first meeting, actually, this is something Sonny and I are doing. We're going to have it live on the web. So that way, when these when these revisionists, that's such a nice way to put it. But you know, the people over at the West Rogers Park Community thing and the North Side Albany Park Alliance, by the way, and all of these people have been invited to be on the show, to come to the filming today. And of course, I haven't heard a word from any of them, which really will shock all of you. And Sonny even went to the lengths to try to get this John Hoffman guy to show up, because he's busy telling everybody that 200 people were at their last meeting, when the police told me that 70 would be a generous estimate, to put it mildly. But you know what? You guys were invited. You guys want your message out. That's fine. But rather than have you twist the message of other people, this stuff's going to air live as it happens. People email questions in and all that, and it will stay on the web where people can watch it afterwards. And that way, when like an organization votes for a senior citizens thing in the park and then demonstrates against it because it's politically advantageous, it'll be a little harder to lie and change your tune, West Rogers Park Community Organization. So we're very much looking forward to the live meeting. And you know what? Mike Moses had a lot to do with it. I think this is a terrific thing. And, like you guys want to contact Sonny and me, I mean, go to our website, and we'll have links and all that to the meeting. So, and it's something we're really, really happy to do, and we congratulate everybody for the openness and honesty to want to put what their real stuff right on the web. Maybe they're afraid that, like if the cameras are at their meetings, that those 200 become 30 or 20 or 10 or 5 or whatever. And something, speaking of people who haven't shut up, I also invited Nazy Dolar, and I was looking at
Nazy's in Florida. Her mother passed away.
Oh, that I'm sorry to hear. My condolences.
And Nazy is not in town.
Okay, but I mean, I had invited her prior. It was interesting that her name was not on the. I saw the list of the Obama 9th District people, and her name's not on the list, even though she's an alternate delegate.
She is an alternate delegate,
but her name was not on the list. Oh, and by the way, that information you told me we'll talk another time about that off the air, because we. But you know what? So there's a lot going on there. But one question I'll ask you first, and of course, our guest is as you've already kind of guessed, is Alderman Berny Stone. 24th Ward, all the other stuff. I promised Mr. Lobet.
24th Ward.
40. Oh, 24. I'm thinking 24th District, 50th Ward. I'm on today, okay? So I'm doing good. 50th Ward Alderman. I promised Mr. Lobet Romanian, I know that's in the 49th, although it is in the 24th District, to ask, I guess a lot, when people go to synagogue at Yeshurun on Saturday morning, there's a lot of traffic there, and it's hard to cross the street. And there was a stop sign there that came down. So he wanted to suggest something like a crosswalk. Should be put near the J in the Schwartzman building or whatever it's called or something. With the sign for cars like.
The stop sign, which I put in, was a terrible experiment. It tied up traffic, and it was a mistake. And I admit that I made the mistake, and I had it taken out. I made a mistake. I corrected it. Sorry.
Okay. Now, is there? No, actually, I don't. He understood that the stop sign was messing things up, but I guess he was worried about elderly people crossing to go to synagogue Saturday morning.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to make them walk an extra block to Sacramento or to Kedzie, and cross with the traffic lights.
Right here. Okay. Well, I promised and I delivered. So what's going on?
Where? Lots of things going on.
Okay.
You remember we talked about a parking lot for the last 8 years?
Oh, that would be a nice thing to happen.
It's happening.
Yay!
They're working every day. They're pounding the sheet metal into the ground. The lawsuit is over. The construction has started, even though our good friend is walking by every day to make sure that every piece of work is doing it. They're doing it correctly. He checks it every day.
Talking about Greg Brewer? Or?
Oh yes, of course.
Okay.
And his obstruction has finally failed completely, and. But he's still trying to obstruct it whatever way he can. And the work has started and the work is proceeding. And one of the major subjects of that major meeting that we're going to have next week, which will have occurred by the time this hits the
right, and go to the show website to be able to watch it if you missed it live. And people can email questions live at the meeting too.
Will be the subject of regarding the parking situation, and one of the things we're going to cover, and which of course I can discuss now, is the fact that we had to temporarily stop some of the residential parking on a few of the streets surrounding the parking lot because of the fact that we were losing that small parking lot that was there before, and one of the good things I can tell you that as soon as the building construction proceeds to the point where the first 3 floors are available, which is the parking floors, we will then put the residential parking back and allow cars to park in the new building. And assuming that our construction season holds, assuming that construction goes on schedule and everything goes well, that can be as soon as next January, which means even though we've told everybody a year, that's approximately 6 months.
That'd be great.
So means it'll we'll at least have the parking facilities available to the general public in about 6 months, and that will be terrific, because that'll of course be during the winter season, and that'll relieve a lot of the unfortunate parking mess that occurs during the winter. So that's the good news.
Okay, that sounds great.
And it's going to be a major, I think, a major architectural real boon for the Devon Avenue. There's a lot of other new structures going on Devon. I can give you a scoop that really isn't, that most people don't know about as yet. Neil Stein and Mike Moses and the others who have been working towards revamping Devon Avenue actually Mike went with me to see the mayor's chief of staff. We've been successful in getting funding. We haven't received the funds as yet, but getting funding for an architectural, landscape architectural design group. And as soon as those funds are available, they're going to work on doing a new architectural landscape design for all of Devon Avenue.
Wow.
So that'll be the start of our plans for redesigning all of Devon Avenue.
That sounds nice.
Well, that's our one of the things we've been working on is we believe that Devon Avenue is the answer for our neighborhood's contribution to 2016.
The Olympics.
Yes, because we believe that Devon Avenue is the natural goal for an international home for the members of the Olympics who represent nations from all over the world. Where else would they come to but Devon Avenue, which represents an international showplace? Which
is it's really nice and diverse.
The diversity of Devon Avenue is a natural location for the diversity of those who come to an Olympics. So we want to get the jump on that, because I happen to believe that by next year we know that Chicago will get the Olympic bid, and if we're successful, then we want to get the jump on it and be ready long before 2016 with a new Devon Avenue. And I think the Devon Avenue is going to have a really fresh and a new look. As a matter of fact, I met with Naranjan Shah this week, and one of the things Naranjan talked about, and you know, Naranjan is Globetrotters Engineering.
Okay. And
Naranjan talked about Devon Western, how that is symbolic of where Gandhi Marg and also the street name for the first president of Pakistan meet, and that should be the entranceway for the certainly both the Pakistan and the Indian community, and we should have something symbolic of both the Indian and the Pakistani community, similar to what they have in Chinatown, where they have the arch.
Oh yeah, sure.
Into Chinatown, and we talked about perhaps some sort of a symbolic arch or something of that nature at the Von Western.
Cool.
And there's nothing wrong with something of that nature. We've always considered the business area here as an international business street, and that's what we're looking for to continue this idea of an international, diverse community. So there's a lot of things in the works.
One thing I want to mention, because I don't want to forget about this, is I want to mention the new commander, Steve Kaloris.
Terrific guy.
Absolutely. And I especially give him a lot of credit for putting up with some of my silliness. But he was at our CAFS meeting last night. He had some really terrific creative suggestions. He's a no-nonsense guy, straight to the job, get it done. You know, he's looking out for the betterment of the neighborhood. And you know what? We've been lucky with a lot of really terrific commanders, guys like Bruce Rotner, and not to mention Boggs and Tom Byrne.
Well, what about guys like, well, you remember Lefty?
Weiber, too.
Remember
That's
Lefty?
actually a little bit before my time. You told me about him.
Yeah, well, Lefty was there for 6 years, and he's gone now. He's passed away, but he was a great commander. We had a whole series of great commanders. Right from the 24th has only existed since 1976. And it has had a continual series of great police commanders. I've been fortunate enough to have been the alderman during that entire period, and I've been fortunate enough to have worked with all these great commanders. My ward also encompasses a small part of the 17th district, and I've been fortunate enough also to have a new commander in 17 who happens to be a great commander too. And
let's also mention that the 24th district leads the city this year in crime reduction.
Everybody keeps telling me how crime statistics are up. In the meantime, the fact is, as far as the 24th is concerned, we lead the city in the reduction of crime. Not the increase in crime, but the reduction of crime. Crime is down 10.4% in the entire 24th district. Now that encompasses both East and West Rogers Park. Crime is down 10.4%.
Yeah.
The only thing we're up in is arson. See, there might have been one or two arsons previously, and this year there might have been 3 or 4. So, I mean, it's up 150% on arson. But that's the only thing we're up on. But actually, we've been doing that's not really on Bruce Rotner's watch. But and that's why Bruce, I'm sure, got his promotion. But crime is down in the 24th. Now, one of the things, perceptions. They talk about this terrible murder rate we have.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I became alderman in 1973, the murder rate was more at this point in the year. The murder rate was almost twice what it is now.
Wow.
So you think it's very high, but you got to go back and see how much higher it was in previous years. It is high. It's 1 is too high.
Yeah, 1 is.
But if you go back and look at the records, it was even higher in prior years. But
some things you can't control. Like last year, one guy went ballistic and he killed his wife and his mother-in-law and his sister-in-law.
Well, but in the matter of fact, it went down quite a bit over the years, and now it's spiked, and these are cyclical things, and what happens is it goes down, then it goes up, and it's too high, no question about it. I'm sure the new superintendent will do all in his power to cut it back. When the new superintendent appeared before the Police Fire Committee, I stuck my head in. I talked to him for a few minutes before the committee met. I'm not on that committee, so I didn't attend the committee hearing. But I talked to him for a few minutes before the meeting. And I said, Superintendent, I know you're going to do your best. I said, look, I'm not going to tell you how to be a policeman. because I have no experience in police work. But at the same time, I know you don't tell me how to be an alderman.
Yeah.
So, because these aldermen who try and tell him how to become a policeman, I don't understand that. So, I don't try and be a policeman. I try and help whatever way I can be of assistance. But in the meantime, I think our district does a real good job. Listen, we have problems. We try and do the best we can. And people like Sonny and yourself who work in CAPS, I give you all the credit in the world.
Thank you.
And I've always had great confidence in the CAPS organization. As you know, I was one of the people who always was a supporter of CAPS.
No question. One person I want to thank, too, because I forgot, I wanted to thank Amy Zander, who's actually, that meeting that will have been televised live, will have been over to our office. And do you know what a tell is? I'm not a poker player.
No.
But there's a thing called a tell, which means like somebody, if they have a real good hand, another gambler notices the eyebrow goes up, or, there's a tell when you read the website of an organization to find out what they're about. And I was busy over at the, by the Northside Albany Park Alliance.
Yeah.
And their website, and they talk about the chamber, and they refer to it as the 50th Ward Chamber of Commerce.
No, it's West Ridge.
It's West Ridge. And not only is it West Ridge, but the physical boundaries are West Ridge. And not all of West Ridge is
in the 50th Ward.
In the 50th Ward, and part of the 50th Ward is that. And it shows, when I say by tell, that should tell everybody that all they're thinking about is politics, and they want to be the power, they want to control the message, and they want to feed everybody their fertilizer.
Well, it's interesting because they come out of Albany Park, but that's the reason they don't understand. That they look at everything from a political standpoint as opposed to a neighborhood standpoint. We, on the other hand, look at everything from a neighborhood standpoint, which is different than examining it from a political standpoint.
Very much so. So what other new developments do we have? Anything else?
Oh, we got a lot of things in the fire, and we'll keep. We're still working on the senior activity center in the park, and the zoning matters are still proceeding, and we're still working out the details on the ones that were pending. And I get calls on things like I have a zoning matter pending on the 3500 block on Peterson. All it is a beauty parlor. Every time a beauty parlor wants to open up, you have to pass a zoning amendment.
Really?
It's silly, but that's what it is. I mean, what can I tell you? But
I know barbers have to be licensed because they used to let blood and all that and do leeches.
But it's a
Hi,
silly.
Marty.
It's a silly thing, but that's the way it is. But it's the usual day-to-day grind and the usual thing that happens. And I know the business area has been plagued by the little inspectors running around and banging on their doors and making them take out licenses on their signs, and they're busy collecting money and they're harassing the little